Hello and welcome to another Battleforge PvP video. Today I'm back with a match between me and Yuah, which was quite an interesting matchup between Fire Nature and I think it was I was playing Stonekin, and we had a long series where we kind of practiced this matchup in sparring grounds, and I think some of these matches were quite interesting. So I just want to show this one, especially because I think it was quite a hilarious game. So Yuah is starting with a scavenger, pretty standard. I'm responding with master archers, try to stay at a rather close proximity to my power wells and orb in order to protect my stuff, because frost is not that strong early on, especially if you fight far away from your power wells. So I'm basically trying to defend and scale up until I get to tier 2, because in Stonekin versus Fire Nature you end up having really big advantages if you get through tier 1 without any disadvantage. So we can see two scavengers over here, third one coming here, so I respond with two master archers. So he tries to go for this power and picks up tier 2 in the meantime. So the idea behind this is to secure map control, and I decide to rush this over here because there's no other choice for me. Like, I cannot get to a tier 2 position in time. If I walk up to this spot here, I will lose this power before I get to finish my tier 2. So right here, Yuah gets one scavenger out of the fight, two of them dropped. This is quite unfortunate. Losing 2 units is a little bit too much, and as you can see, right now Yuah is 156 power, and I'm attacking him. Like, there's not much that he can do. Like, maybe an oink because my units are not that well positioned, but yeah, the oink is quite good because my units are not that well positioned, and I'm using this master archer squad here, and this is actually a mistake because Yuah has this scavenger over here, and I think this is where the shenanigans are starting, because he plays a Vileblood over here, and as you can see I'm at 40 power, so there's not that much I can do about this. So this is the moment where the base trading starts. And yeah, he also plays the Borrower and straight up goes for the orb. I think, yeah, this ends up being quite hilarious. I'm not sure how much power he has. He's at 50 power, so I think it might be worth it to consider playing a Mortar Tower here, because he actually got my orb, and if he plays like Mortar and Sunstroiders, he might be able to defend this while just clearing out my entire base. I think if Yuah does this over here, in this moment he wins the game. But right now it kind of stays competitive because he kind of sacrifices this spot over here. But in the meantime, the Vileblood and the remaining units here are just dealing a lot of damage to this orb. So this drops too. So second monument dropped. He already got the monument and 2 powers, and he's already trying to hit this one over here. I rebuilt my tier 1 and destroyed the ice barrier to get some void return, and decide like to just base trade entirely. So in the end, if everything turns out to go as it's right now, I would end up having an advantage if this one drops, because then I would have destroyed 3 power wells and 2 orbs, and he would have just destroyed 3 power wells and 1 orb. But if I don't get this power well, he will be ahead for sure, because he got my power wells a lot earlier. Right now he's up 1 power well, and yeah, he also has remaining tier 2 units that might help him, especially if this game will continue at its current pace. And since he did not rebuild his tier 2, he also loses the 50 extra power that he invested. So because his tier 2 pickup would be cheaper right now, but since all of the wells are dropping, we're not that close to this moment here. So both players decided to take a well. I think Yuah was the one who took it first, so I thought it was safe to take one by myself as well. And right now I'm in a pretty safe spot, because I'm at like 50 power at least to glacier shield my orb, and the support spells like the hurricane and all this stuff are not and the healings are not available to the Vileblood. So yeah, this Glyph of Frost actually hitting everything and this mortar failing is quite a big deal. because simply because I have a lot of units on the board, and I will get a lot of damage done to this Vibert and Barova. So Yuah actually realizes this and kind of forces another decision by me to either base trade or try to kind of chase them down. And I think if I just chase them and lose this power well, and he just ends up building a mortar later on, this might just not be worth it. So I decided to try to push through the mortar, because due to the low amount of power wells and all the buildings that dropped, the amount of void in the game is really, really low. So this Vileblood just destroys this power well in no time, and the mortar gets activated because he gets shooting range at the orb. Maybe I should have moved a little bit differently, but yeah, it was pretty important to get this mortar down. So this Vileblood's still alive, Barova's still alive. I tried to sort of get one of these units down with the Ice Guardian. Did not work, so I'm not sure if this was very effective. Yeah, so yeah, this were dropped, and this orb is gonna drop too. So basically, in the end, I think there's quite an interesting scenario where just one orb for both player remains. We just have a tiny amount of void power, both of us. So all these small unit trades actually do matter a lot, and yeah, these unit kills, especially the one on the Vileblood, is pretty huge for me. And this Vileblood is really low right now, and I can finish it off with the Master Archers right now. Tier 1 drops, and yeah, we get the Scavenger torn off. That is super, super big. So this one dies, and this one dies. And in the end, there's just one Borrower left. And yeah, in the end, I think the idea by Yuah of base trading with this Vileblood, because I overcommitted over here, was quite good. If I save some power and deflect it with a Light Blade, it fails. But the way I played this with full power at the top side, I actually made a mistake that could have been punished. If he played a mortar in his main base a little earlier and tried to defend my attack, or at least like thin it out so it wouldn't take his wells this fast, I think he would have won that game based on that. Especially because I had no spawn presence for anything, because my tier 1 orb dropped at that moment. So right now this Borrower gets frostbited, so we get the finishing blow, and these Master Archers are gonna finish off the game. So that's gonna be the end. And yeah, that was quite a nice game, and I hope you liked watching this. See you in the next video.